Sometimes you need development. Sometimes you need things that you need to work on and you need to practice at. You can never um you always could practice. You always could use practice, okay? You can never be too polished. That if that makes sense. All right. Um, so and I was saying that the Arizona Cardinals, I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I like the way they went and grabbed him in with the fourth overall pick. I'm going by city in alphabetical order. I like when they went and grabbed Marvin Harrison Jr., 6'3", 209. They graded him out of 95. I would say that's a fair grade out of 95 because his 50-50 balls downfield, and he's a good red zone guy. And that's what I would have to say. He, like they said, he can contort his body for catches and throws. His dad was one of the best receivers of all time in the NFL, especially in my era. And what I mean by my era is my age group and the players that I've seen growing up. Like I like to pay homage to guys that have been in the NFL before me, but if I really didn't get a chance to watch them, how could they honestly, and let's be honest about this, how could they be in my top whatever if I never ever got a chance to see this player perform in the NFL, right? Makes sense, right? Okay, so and I mean some guys you could throw in there and say that they're great, but I mean if that's the case, if we're gonna talk about the greatest defensive backup of all time, you gotta say Paul Crew. He got 81 interceptions. Nobody's ever gonna break that. You know what I mean? Uh so I mean, like look, that's all I gotta say about that. But then they went and grabbed Trey Benson, the running back from Florida State University, 6'2", 216. They gave him an 82 grade. I do not agree with that 82 grade with that. I just don't. And the reason why I've been is because I think Trey Benson is an A player. I would have to rank him a little higher than an 82, man. And the rankings that I'm going off is the ESPN rankings. If you want to go along, you can go to ESPN. Let me get the exact thing. It's ESPN slash NFL slash draft slash teams, right? And then the names of the teams. And this is what I'm going off of. So this is what I've based my notes off of and everything else, just in case if you wanted to fact check me or however else you just want to go along with it. Okay. All right. And and Trey Benson, he played a lot better than me. He played a lot better than me. He was a tough between the tackle type of runner. I think he had enough agility. I thought that the way that Trey Benson ran down at Florida State was like NFL ready, if you ask me. Like he ran tough behind his pads. And look, I thought that somebody like Buffalo maybe could use him with Cook little brother, back to back. But we'll get to talking about them in a second. They're not too far off. But look, I thought that they did well there with that pick. Now, him and James Conner both in the backfield. That 1-2 punch is going to be nasty. Oh my goodness, it is going to be. Now, what the experts had to say upon Trey Benson, let me get that pulled up here. The experts had to say that Trey Benson is one of the three backs to run a sub 4.4 in the 40-yard dash at the combine, and that the combine confirms that he showed on tape his burst through the hole is impressive, and he showed the better patience between the tackles in 2023. And then he did that in 2022. He is a smooth accelerating around the corner as a perimeter runner and has the extra gear to pull away from pursuit. Benson has the contact balance and core strength to break tackles in space too. He flashes soft hands and he is a threat after the catch. And that's why I thought he'd be perfect for like a Josh Allen, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Based upon just what I know. Now, giving y'all what I know, and then I'll give y'all what the experts are saying. Okay. And that's just how it feels. All right. Because I want to make sure that y'all getting it, the correct information. Now that's just not to say that experts can't be wrong, because they can be. We all can be. We all don't get it right all the time. They're evaluating hundreds of players, so they're bound to be wrong at one of these players. That's why I said the 82 grade. I don't know about that. Just like the next one from the Arizona Cardinals, what I thought was a great pick. I thought that he maybe would have been like, they got him ranked as the number 6 tight end. And in the NFL, Tip Reeman, he was a walk-on from Illinois for Illinois. Shout out to him. 6'5", 271. I thought of him as an extra tackle that can catch, because his run blocking is next level. He can run block very well. He can catch. And I thought that that would move him up in the position rankings only because of the next level with the NFL. Like how the NFL, you got to be able to block too. You just can't catch the ball. And that's why I think he'll be a lot better in the NFL. Now, ESPN gave him he's ranked number 6 overall, ranking 113th in the draft, and they gave him a 68 as a grade. I'm like, no way. He's way like had he not played for Illinois and he played for let's just say a bigger school, Bama or Georgia, he would been to me, look, and it just in my opinion, I think he was up there with like a Brock for real. With blocking wise, the guy he's definitely could block. He's 6'5", 271, y'all. Tip Reeman. Look, crazy, man. Just crazy. And I'm like, there's no way that you can't, there's no way that you could do that, right? No way. I don't know where that came from. That came from my phone. So I had my phone hooked up to take calls, but I don't need to because I got the thing in there. So but look, the next guy that I want to talk about, and we're gonna move on to the next team here. So shout out to the Arizona Cardinals. Those are the picks that I wanted to talk about. There's plenty more that I could probably talk about. Now, the experts are saying about like, let me get y'all what the experts are saying about Tip Reeman. Right, he's a former walk-on. We knew that. He caught 19 passes last season, but he flashes on tape and he proved himself his traits to develop into a productive receiver with an outstanding workout at the combine. He tied for the quickest 10-yard split, had the third fastest 3-cone time, and had the fourth fastest short shuttle out of the tight ends in Indianapolis. He also ran with the sixth fastest 40-yard dash. Reeman has big hands and it can pluck the ball out of the air. He has the frame to box out defenders and the body control to adjust to passes thrown behind him. He has the size to wall off defenders in space and the frame to develop into an effective inline blocker. I thought he did great with inline blocking. So, that's just me. But like I said, if we agreeing out here, somebody's not doing their job. We just talking about that. But I thought he did great with blocking. That's what the professionals had to say. Moving on. Now we're gonna move on to air. What's next? Atlanta, my brother squad. Shout out to my brother Don, man. In case you're supporting out there, your Falcons. What was they thinking? Man, I don't know. Now, I get it, right? People talked about Michael Penix and his Achilles, but we got to remember, y'all. We have to remember this. And we talked about the fans switching up earlier and everything else. The fans do switch up a whole lot when it comes to players. Everybody was on Michael Penix. They would, as the kids call it nowadays, they call it glazing. We used to call it D-riding. We used to call it DSing. But the kids now call that riding. They call it glazing because you're glazing the man. Get off him, right? Michael Penix, everybody was loving him. Everybody was loving him. He was one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Y'all even was talking about him being in a Heisman conversation and blah, 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 whatever else. He went up against the best defense in college football against Michigan. They got overwhelmed. Yes, the Washington had NFL talent on their offensive line. However, Michigan's whole defense was like in the NFL. Like, you know what I mean? Like they all were out in the draft. So let's talk about it. But Michael Penix to me was the best pure passer. To me and my co-host Shad on Fans Point of View, we both really sat down and thought that Michael Penix should have been in the top 3. He should have been considered to be in the top 3. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix definitely should have been up there. He definitely should have been up there. And the Falcons thought so. He was worth a first round 8th pick. And they just paid Kirk Cousins $180 million. Kirk Cousins just got hurt last year. I think what was it, Achilles or something like that? Michael Penix had trouble with his Achilles. They both had injury prone. We don't know what's going on. He's the best pure passer coming out of college football. He's definitely athletic. He ran a 4.4 at his pro day. The guy knows what he's doing. And Kirk Cousins being there, if they get hurt, got another quarterback to throw in. If not, think things ain't going that way. You need somebody to come in there and provide a quick scoop. Michael Penix can do that. And he's going to learn from Kirk Cousins, and he's prepared to do that. You see I like what he said when he came in. He's prepared to sit behind Kirk Cousins and learn as much as he can from Kirk Cousins. He said that, and I like that, and I like what the Falcons did with that, even though it seemed unorthodox and like, what is you doing? But they did it. All right, now the Falcons just concentrated on depth at the D line positions. I like that a lot because the Falcons defense, whether we want to look at it or not, they were one of the like you can argue that the Falcons was a top 15, top 10 defense in the NFL last year. If you come with the correct points, you definitely can argue that because they were okay on defense. The Falcons had a lot of games. They were what 5 games, and I know a lot of people because other people use it for other teams, so I'm gonna use it for the Falcons. The Falcons, 5 of their games last year, they lost by under 5 points, 5 points or less. So now you talking about, and that was all purely defense. If they would have had Kirk Cousins or a Michael Penix last year, the Falcons are in the playoffs without a doubt. So let's really talk about it. Their defense was there. Now they're adding that depth on that defensive line when those guys get tired, and they're going to go to work. So, what the Falcons did and overall with Michael Penix and with that defensive line, I would have to give the Falcons a B plus on what they did in the whole draft. The Arizona Cardinals, I got to give them a C plus because, well, no, I'm sorry. I'll give them a B plus too also because I like Tip Reeman. I like the Falcons, what they did in the draft, addressing the defensive lineman. And we're going to move on to the next team. All right, the Baltimore Ravens. I gotta be fair here. I'm biased with my Steelers, so but I'm not. I'm not going to dog on the Ravens. I'm just not. I'm not going to dog the Ravens. I give a fair evaluation upon them and what they did in the draft. Right, the Ravens picked up. They addressed. They got Nate Wiggins. They got linebacker from Penn State. I cannot Azida Isaac. I think that's his name. 6'4", 247. Because they just lost Patrick Queen to us, so they addressed that need. They went and got TJ Tampa from Iowa State, which I thought he was good. I thought he would play really well. TJ Tampa. They given him an 84. And I don't know why, because I thought he played a lot better than that. I thought he was one of the better corners in the draft, to be honest. I mean, because I watched a lot of college football last year, and TJ Tampa was him. The the Ravens draft, bro, low key, and I must say this, y'all. They got me. They I respect them. They put some respect on me. I put some respect on them. What they picked up now, it wasn't sexy at all. It wasn't something that everybody want to look at because they went and grabbed Rasheen Ali from the running back from Marshall that people gonna sleep on 5'11", 206. They like, man, they great no matter 53. What disrespect? What disrespect? I know he's a G5 running back, but I mean, come on, like that's just disrespectful. They went and grabbed up Devin Leary, 6'1", 215. He can move. Don't get twisted with that white boy. He can move. And I hope that y'all are not doing that. They grabbed Nick Simek, the center from Michigan State. Man, they grabbed the safety from Purdue, Kane. They went in and addressed, and another one that I really want to put out there is Devontrez Walker from North Carolina, the receiver. I think he dropped because of I believe I just don't know why he dropped. I don't know him, and they had a really outstanding. Maybe it was his speed or something. I don't know with his 40 time because he was only the fourth fastest or something like that. But look, he was him. He was him last year. Him and Hampton, Omarion Hampton, they was putting in that work for UNC last year. And Drake May, that was one of his favorite targets. The Ravens had a good draft. I respect what the Ravens did. And look, I gotta give it up to the Ravens, man. I give them an A minus, man. And that's only because I'm biased. So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. That's all. I'm just trying to keep it 100 out here. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. All right. So the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see the okay? Y'all can see the graphics. Okay. The Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, like, why would y'all trade with with the Chiefs. The Chiefs is our number one. They're your arch enemy. Y'all were built to beat the Chiefs. Did you think they missed? The Bills, regardless of what y'all want to say, y'all, they are one of the teams that had a fantastic draft. I must say that, y'all. They addressed every last one of their needs, period. They addressed each and every one of them. If you're watching, if you're going along, they are the wide receiver, the cornerback, safety, the edge, and the center. They addressed all those needs with good players. Keon Coleman from Florida State University, their first overall pick, 6'3", 213. They gave him an 86. He ran a 4.61, right? And you thinking to yourself, that's slow. Well, guess what, y'all? Stephon Diggs didn't run that fast. You know what makes Stephon Diggs good? He's quick in small spaces, and he's an elite route runner, and he knows how to get open in zone defense. He knows how to read the zones and the defense, the holes. And that's what makes Stephon Diggs so great. And all I kept saying was the tight end. Now, I thought that I didn't think them grabbing another tight end would have been bad, but they said, look, we got to address the receiver. Keon Coleman, 4.61. His smooth route running that Keon Coleman possesses, right? And then his the red zone. That's who they need. Short yardage guy, red zone type of guy. Snatch the ball up. That is Keon Coleman, a route runner. That's all the Bills needed. They didn't need a speedy receiver like Xavier Worthy. They didn't need the safety, the sexy pick there. They did not need that. They need, and why? Because of the way that Josh Allen plays. Josh Allen breaks out of the pocket, throws off somebody like Big Ben used to do, move around. They need somebody who can run a smooth route, crisp, smooth route, in a red zone target, short yardage type of guy. Oh, there he is. Let me dump it to him. Boom. That's all they need with their running game, right? And they addressed that. And that's why I like that. Then they went and got Cole Bishop from Utah. Cole Bishop. Now, regardless of what I'm gonna say, Eric Weddle stamped him. Now we played against Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle also played for the Chargers, played for the Baltimore Ravens, so we're familiar with Eric Weddle. He stamped this young man. Like, Cole Bishop is really that guy. Don't get it twisted. He's stumping something. And underneath, when he's playing in that underneath zone, like, he might take one to the house. Like, we gotta take down a grade, but they gave him an 82 grade, and I'm like, I don't know. And I guess that's fair, I guess, because you know what he's saying. But you better be watching out for this young man, Cole Bishop, for real. I'm ready to see what he about to do up there in Buffalo. He might be comfortable. He's 6'2", 206 pounds. A great tackler in space. One of his like attributes was like him getting the tackles for loss out of the safety position. So like he's like that extra, lighter linebacker, if you will, that can, pass coverage. Anything behind him is a little iffy, and I'm guessing that's why they were like, okay, like if we get behind Cole and Cole really don't recover that well, but anything in front of Cole, it's over with. And he has that talent to do that. And with them losing Micah Hyde, they definitely needed to, address that spot. Dwayne Carter, the defensive tackle from Duke, they got the experts get rated him a 72, like 302 pounds. They needed another run stuffer up in there. I think they did good with him. And I really like them grabbing Ray Davis. Yo, I forgot about him in the draft, yo. Ray Davis, I'm a short guy. He 5'8", 211 pounds, and he run like a bowling ball. And that is perfect for him and Cook. And he could catch too, because he was that him and Devin Leary was getting busy. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that he could catch a little bit out the backfield, and he's shifty, he can move, but he's just one of the north and but really, he's a north and south runner. That's what he like to do. Let me get it. Let me get where I gotta go. And you need a back like that in Buffalo, because you already got Cook. Cook is a little bit more shifty or whatever. But then when Ray Davis come in and give him a breather, he's north and south. I'm coming in. Let me get these quick 2-3 yards or whatever it's gonna be. But that's a lot of yards in the NFL. And I like that pick with Ray Davis, man. I definitely like that pick. I'm not going to talk about all the picks, but I do like, all the picks that the Buffalo Bills went and did. Y'all can go check it out. Like I said, their whole pick. So all in all, man, I got to get them an A+, man. I like what the Buffalo Bills did. Now, the Carolina Panthers. Let's talk about these Panthers, man, and what they did. Yo, the Panthers, man. They low key They gotta put it together this year, man. They have to. They have no other choice but to put it together this year. Let's just call it what it is. Call it what it is. He said Nick Sims said the Bears made moves too. Josh gonna find whoever open. Now looking, what up, Nick Sim, what up, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I hope that's you. Hit the link down there in the chat. Y'all want to jump in? The link is up there in the chat. You scroll up in the chat, you get the link. You could definitely jump on the show. I'm gonna talk about the Bears too. Right now, I'm going by city. If I'm going by city in the alphabetical order, okay. So all the way through to Washington. It's gonna be a long time. So if you want to jump on, you got something to say, go ahead, man. We all up in here, fans. That's what it's all about. It's the morning after, no plan B, baby. All right, but the Carolina Panthers, just do or die for them right now, right? Do or die. They gotta get it right. They gotta get it this well. I mean, it's really not that, but with today's impatientness of fans and everything else, they went and got, the quarterback first round last year. They got it. They want to produce. And they spent a lot of money on our offensive line. A lot. A whole lot. What is 150 million or something they spent like that on the offensive line, I believe. So they put some money there. Xavier Leggett. Now, man, the dude ran a 4.3, y'all. He's a 221-pound receiver at 6'1", ran a 4.3, yo. First day, like comparison, Julio, right? That's what you thinking, Julio Jones. Yeah, he's strong though. And they used him like a Debo, like, Samuel's Leggett. He was good on them screens down there in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Them quick little wide receiver screens. Get it, go. Gone. And he ran a rock a couple of times. He can do it all. I like what they did there, man. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that pick, man, with Carolina. I like Xavier Leggett and what he did with Carolina. I like that pickup. And they addressed a lot in the offseason too with some pros, right? Now, Jonathan Brooks, right? People thinking like, what are you with Jonathan Brooks? Like, why did they pick him up? Because of the injuries. And we talked about that. We talked about that on the fans' point of view. He was just one of the best running backs. Like, let's call it what it is. Jonathan Brooks was like, if not the best running back in college football last year, even with the injuries. 6', 216, run, catch out of the backfield, do it all rounded between the tackles. He's just a weapon to have on the offense, and he's going to come in and he's going to provide that for the Carolina offense. And behind that offensive line, watch for Brooks. Y'all need to pick him up on your fantasy team because he's going to be a problem in the NFL. He's going to get the job done. Believe that. That's why they traded that pick to go get him because they knew if he's there, they grabbed him up. They also went and grabbed Jatavion Sanders. I like Jatavion Sanders, the tight end from Texas. I like what he was putting up. I thought that they needed a red zone target, right? They needed another red zone target, and I think that's where he's going to come in at another. Like when I was talking about the Tip Reeman from not Tip Reeman, I'm sorry, I was the red zone target for the receiver from the Bills. That's what he's going to provide for the Carolina Panthers. Short yardage receiver, red zone guy, Jatavion Sanders. I don't know if he got the breakaway speed that everybody's going to hoop and hollered over like at the tight end position, but he's going to be good in short yardage. All right, for Bryce Young, definitely going to put in that work, and I like that pick. Also, their last pick from Michigan, the linebacker from Michigan. I don't know how Michael Barrett slipped all the way to the last round. But man, listen, I think he got